Welcome! And today we'll dive into a couple of great entitled parent stories and their reactions. Coming up we have Get married and have babies because you owe us grandkids, my parents said. Plus we have Entitled Mom uses me as an example to her kid about me being a sheep because I'm wearing a mask. And finally, my fake stepmom thinks I'm going to pay her for life. I just know you're gonna love these stories, so this should be a fun session. Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his pen so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. If this is your first time watching our videos, help me out by watching to the end, and then giving me some feedback in the comment area below. I do respond to every single one, so don't be shy. And if you want more of these videos daily, don't forget to like and subscribe, with notifications turned on for this channel. Oh boy, let's get ready for some stories. I Be the Witch of the Woods posted. Get married and have babies because you owe us grandkids, my parents said. I'm a 38-year-old woman. I have a great career, a loving boyfriend, 31, great pets and friends. I have never, ever wanted kids. 5 years ago, I ended a relationship with a man named Jason, name changed. Who, I thought wanted the same things that I did. We had been together for 2 years in 2015. We'd travel together, read comics, play video games and do all kinds of fun things. I had always been honest with Jason that I never wanted kids. He told me he didn't either. Then, in the summer of that year, I began to notice changes in him. He would talk about how great our friends' kids are. He'd try to get me to spend time with his nephews, even though I wasn't close to them. He also began talking to my parents way more than usual. Then one evening, he said he wanted to have dinner with my whole family. I found this a bit strange as I don't often spend time with my family. But for him, I agreed. We were having dinner, my parents and siblings, my brother and sister, were there. Then, he dropped a bomb on me. He got down on one knee and said, "I love you. I want you to be the mother of my children." What the actual F? Was the first thing that came out of my mouth. We hadn't talked about getting married, much less kids. I never wanted kids and wasn't ready for marriage. I took him to another room and asked him what the heck he was doing. He dropped another bomb and told me he had been talking to my parents about us getting married and starting a family. Let that sink in. He talked to my parents, not me, about our future. He said he had asked my dad's permission. My dad's permission, before he asked for my consent. I was furious. All this was obviously meant to pressure me into saying yes. My mother, being nosy, walked right into the room we were in and asked what was wrong and why I had not said yes. I told her and the whole family that they needed to leave. When they left, I tore Jason a new a-hole. I asked him how dare he assume that I was going to marry him and have kids with him, when I had made it very clear that I did not want those things. He told me he was hoping that I would grow up and want something meaningful. He had the gall to act like I was the bad person in all of this. I threw him out. And the following day, I ended the relationship for good. My parents were peeved at me. My mom cried about how she had been looking forward to getting grandkids from me, and how I had let her down. My siblings too told me I had made a huge mistake by letting such a nice guy go. My dad actually told me to apologize to him. Their behavior told me that my desires and consent didn't matter to them one bit. They just wanted me to follow the same life script that they did. Till today, I haven't forgiven them, mostly because they still think that they and my ex were right. My current boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. He and I share the same passions and he has had a vasectomy. So I feel much more secure when he says that he doesn't want kids. My parents and siblings are no longer a part of my life. I hardly ever call or see them and I'm happier for it. I never spoke to Jason again, though he did try to reach out to me. He maintained contact with my parents for some time, hoping that they'd force me to change my mind. I still believe that what he did was scummy, to say the least. But I bear him no ill will and I hope he's happy. What are your thoughts on this fabulous story? Please share in the comments below. Now here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Wondermoan reacted with, "I'm a first grade teacher. Never wanted any kids. But you're so good with kids. You'd make a great mother. You'll change your mind. I'm 51 now. And so happy." Same. I taught first, and now third. And everyone is so surprised that I don't want kids of my own. My mom has been dropping hints to me and my boyfriend. Even though I told her years ago that I don't want kids. Being a teacher does not mean wanting to be a mom. Naliadel reacted with, I have 4 boys, 23 to 16. I want grandkids. They don't want kids, so I will deal with it. They are my kids, not my property. What a bunch of great reactions. Now on to the next story posted by Nick from Lafayette92 entitled Mom Uses Me as an Example to Her Kid. About me being a sheep because I'm wearing a mask. I was going to the grocery store to get some ingredients to make a homemade pizza. I get out of my car, put on my mask, go in H-E-B, grocery store in Texas and grab a cart. I went to get all the stuff I need plus some additional items to snack on. I went to the dairy aisle to grab milk. And that's when I see entitled Mom and her kid. The lady looked around 35 years old. Her kid was in the cart watching Elsa get crap on what I assume is her phone. Herself and her son were not wearing masks. I mind my own business grabbing the milk jug and go to self-checkout. It wasn't until I saw entitled Mom take the phone out of the kid's hands and see her hold her phone up like she's recording me. I quickly try to get away from her but she kept following me around the store. It wasn't until I heard her say to her kid about how I am a sheep bowing to the communist Democrats and wearing his dumb mask. I turned around and told her why she was following me and she doesn't respond. I told her to F off and just minded my own business. Left the store, put the grocery bags in the trunk, and noticed her drive away in her black Suburban. P.S. The pizza turned out to be delicious and crispy. It made me think how many dimwits live on this earth during this pandemic. What are your thoughts on this fabulous story? Please share in the comments below. Now here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Towering Velveteen reacted with, tell you you're wearing your mask not for COVID but because you have the seasonal flu. And you're wearing it so you don't infect others. Then take it off and start lightly coughing. My auto reaction to someone saying why are you wearing that mask is now this. Gecko Raja reacted with, I am bullied a lot, now I respond with, well I wear it because it helps to hide my ugliness. And you should do that too because even without my glasses, I can clearly see the concentration of stupidness that reflects on your face. Or well it helps me to stay safely away of your stupidness. PS, I'm 15 years old if you ask. What a bunch of great reactions. Now on to the next story posted by Come Thob Knob. Titled, My Fake Stepmom Thinks I'm Going to Pay Her for Life. Long back story short, I've lived with my father. Well, forever. He got married to a woman, Patricia, the stripper if you're old. For a green card in about 2008-ish. It was always for the green card. I know wrong blah blah blah. She needed money because she'd just been fired. And her daughter was having health problems. Her mother encouraged her to drink and smoke at 12, wonder why the health problems were there. So my father made her an employee so she'd make the minimum amount to sponsor him. $500 a week. She did nothing. She lived in Alabama while we lived in Georgia. He got his green card, he continued to pay her because he was an idiot and didn't get a prenup. I lived with him and worked for him, legit worked for him, so I saw and dealt with him every day. We were close. I had my first child in August 2019, his only grandchild. He was diagnosed with cancer in August of 2019 too. I helped him through all his medical stuff, took over as much of the business as I could. Was his home care provider when he was in hospice. He died in June. When he was diagnosed he made a will saying absolutely nothing was to go to his wife. Everything went to me or my son. The house was put in my name with a quitclaim deed, the cars were all transferred. His and her relationship consisted of her literally texting him throughout the week asking for more money. Hubby, I need more money, please deposit. My love, I need more money, I have bills. Husband, you need to pay my taxes now even though I made more than her. She paid $3,000 plus more in taxes and refused to use our legit accountants too. This was constant. He was never rich and his company is small and still has bad seasons. He didn't even tell her when he had a heart attack in 2016. He didn't tell her when I was pregnant. Didn't tell her when he was diagnosed with cancer until a month before he died. He called her begging for help because he felt like a burden to me. And he figured he was paying her, she could at least help. She never showed. In Georgia, a wife is entitled to 1 year of support. So I told her in the middle of COVID I was dropping her money to $300 a week. I didn't tell her my father had died a month before. I did tell her myself and 2 employees had to take pay cuts because of COVID. Truth. The very next day she showed up at my house and just walked in. I told her, she yelled at me. She'd brought her mother, she yelled at me. She made a big deal about wanting to meet her grandson, my son, and how much her and my father loved each other. Lie, my father hated her. She left and I thought it was over. I was going to continue to pay her $300 and nothing else. Then the threat started. How dare I have lied to her? How dare I cremate him? His choice. I had to have her approval. I needed to pay her more because it's what he would have wanted. She also was going to come and take what belonged to her, his ashes and all of his personal belongings. She left a purse with him with some immigration stuff in it which she also wanted. I told her to F off. A couple days passed. I went to visit a friend 2 hours away on a Saturday. She showed up at my work demanding I met her there right now, to give her all her stuff including my father's laptops, phones and ashes. She threatened to break in, call the cops on me, everything. I was literally in tears on the phone with my immigration lawyer, the probate lawyer, and 911. Both lawyers are wonderful people and knew if I called on a Saturday it was an emergency. They eventually left telling me on the phone that I was a biatch, and they were going to get me, Patricia and her mom. Drama happens and I hear nothing from them. I've been paying the $300 a week. She texted me today asking when I was going to pay her taxes. I said never. She told me it was my job to pay them. That's what my father would have wanted, because he loved her and didn't want us to be like this. I told her all I had to do, according to law and will, was pay her 1 year of support, which I was doing since the day he died. She flipped out and called me a liar, and how much my father loved her and he'd never want this to happen to her. The biatch expected me to continue to pay for everything for her until when she died. I must pay her cable, her taxes, her everything. Entitlement. Edit. I never expected to get this response. Normally I get a couple people, but the amount of people reinforcing how entitled she is gives me new fire to continue ignoring her craziness and drop her as soon as I can. Thank you all for the awards as well. I don't often get any and I was really excited. Edit. Thank you for the gold. Hopefully I won't have anything to update for 5 months when the year of support is over, but if she does anything else, I will keep you guys posted. I'm surprised she hasn't just shown up yet after telling her I wouldn't pay her taxes. What are your thoughts on this fabulous story? Please share in the comments below. Now here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Ocean898 reacted with: in other states a spouse can elect against such a will and claim a share of the estate. Glad you've got a probate attorney to advise you. In this state she can take me to probate court and argue how much a year of support should be. But what I pay her now can go towards it. But I'm not telling her this, she can figure it out herself. Especially since she keeps threatening me with how nice she has been. And finally, Ghostus Commentary reacted with: girl or bro, frickin' annoying what some people have to deal with like this female dog. Well, there you have it. A perfectly great set of reactions from a bunch of upstanding citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos as they come out. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off. Thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. He must have found more stories for me to share with you. See you soon.